So I switched to a 5-year-old flagship smartphone for a week, and to be honest, it was quite tough. Let me tell you about what happened. So the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge was released in 2016. It was the flagship phone and everyone loved it. Nobody was that much about the full 100 screen to body ratio. Nobody cared that much about the bezels. It was all about the specs, quality and everything. And this was my daily driver phone for a bit before I got the Galaxy S10 Plus. So yeah, this is a 5-year-old phone. How did it do? Let's talk about the design first, how everything has held up in 2021. Just to be clear, do not buy this phone in 2021. It's just not worth it. And even if you are thinking about it, this is not a review. This is just it was basically a challenge for me. We have bezels on the top and bottom with the home button at the bottom that acts as a fingerprint scanner. So we have a physical fingerprint scanner, which even though it is a physical one, it is quite slow. And altogether performance is quite slow as well, but I can't complain as it is a 2016 smartphone. We do have some similarities to 2021 flagships though, like the glass and metal sandwich. We have glass at the back, glass at the front, a fingerprint magnet, and can easily get scratched and cracked. This phone has been used for quite a long time now, and I have scratches on the fingerprint scanner, a bit on the screen, but cosmetic wise it has held up okay. Of course there are a bit of scuffs where the micro USB port is, not USB-C, micro USB-C port. And yeah, apart from that, cosmetically, it seems fine. Talking about day-to-day use on this phone, 2016, of course, the apps that we use daily now do need a bit more power from our phones. This phone had the latest Snapdragon of 2016, which is that one. Sorry, I can't remember, but it is that Snapdragon chip. And it is really, really simple tasks like opening Google and just going on Instagram, Twitter, social feed. It is really, really slow and quite choppy. I actually don't know why. Multitasking is also a bit of a hassle now as all the apps are updated to their latest versions. Otherwise, they would not work. And it's just not a smooth experience anymore. It was a real challenge for me to keep up with everything that I have to do on a daily with a phone not as powerful as the something I use every day. There is something though which I actually found really impressive on this phone, which is the display. We have a 1440p Super AMOLED display, 60Hz of course, 120Hz. Smartphone displays weren't really a thing back in 2016, but the display is actually really, really nice. It's quite sharp, it displays all the colors quite accurately too. And if you do have a smartphone that has a 60Hz panel, you can probably compare this and say, yeah, that's pretty good. This, compared to the iPhone 11 I recently reviewed, this probably has the better display. Oh yeah, a big plus, did you know this phone has, wait for it, a headphone jack in 2021. Imagine going up to someone, hey, what phone do you have? And then be like, I have a phone with a headphone jack. That's a really, really big flex. Or not, because I guess no one uses headphone jacks anymore, so yeah. I took a couple of photos as well with this camera, and yes, it is a single 12 megapixel camera capable of recording 4K video, but the camera actually produced some nice shots. Of course, the HDR is just not as good, but that's mostly because of the software. But the camera lens is quite nice, as I'll show you some pictures now. I took a lot of pictures outside. HDR is definitely not the best, especially compared to the new Samsung, Huawei's and Apple phones we are getting with Smart HDR, HDR10 and all of that. It's definitely nothing compared to that. But for what the colors, the sharpness and everything else you get apart from HDR, it is really, really nice. If I showed you a picture of the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus and the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge, I think you'd have a hard time telling which is which. Unless, of course, we had something which really shows the HDR capabilities of each device. Some advanced features which this phone has, it has fast charging and fast wireless charging, which all new flagships have. It has a heart rate sensor at the back, which not a lot of smartphones see anymore. Something I do want to tell you guys about with my experience with such an old phone, it gets hot. Very, very hot, okay? I pretty much burnt my hand. I've been using it without a case. It is a risk with a glass phone, of course. But literally just doing nothing, just going through gallery, messages and camera, it gets really, really hot. It's more noticeable where the processor is, so just about here. That's where it gets the most hot. But I guess it is an old phone, can't complain about that. Battery life lasts about 1 to 2 hours of screen on time. That actually sounds funny saying it out loud, but yeah, that's what you get. So yeah, that's about it, guys. Thank you guys for watching this quick challenge of mine. I guess quarantine was getting a bit much for me, so I just wanted to give myself a challenge, and I used a 5-year-old flagship phone. Thank you guys for watching, and it's Safash. Peace.